Hey there, Shawna Karrasch here with another Ask Shawna answer. And this one comes from Missy. And Missy says, hi, I have a senior Arabian and we are about to retire from showing. I am eager, however, to keep his mind, a smart little mind, working and have already started teaching him to bow. I had a photographer who wanted to do some photos with him laying down, but he isn't trained to do this. What is your suggestion on the best way to teach him to lay down? I've worked in a zoo and I'm familiar with clicker training, but have never tried this and want to be effective. Thanks for any advice, Missy. Okay, well, that's really fun, and I'm glad that you're going to keep him going. I mean, sometimes we think retirement is great, and we just kind of turn them out for pasture, and I kind of find sometimes they get bored. You know, they're just in the same place every single day, and they seem to really relish and enjoy the interactions with people when this is something they're used to, when they are smart like that. They like the extra stimulation. Okay, for the lay down, now there's a few things you can do that can help them for the lay down. I'm going to tell you a story of how I first trained George, the first horse I trained to lay down. I just started with horses, and he was a young little horse, and I thought, I'm going to teach him to lay down. And I really wasn't sure how people did this. And so I asked a couple people, and people, you know, kind of natural horsemanshipy, you know, kind of people that would do this a little different. But I kind of was hearing things that I wasn't interested in doing, you know. So I thought, okay, no, I really want to teach them to choose to lay down through thinking, you know. And so what I did is I took the target and I taught my horse George. Like I said, he was young and he was one of those eager, carefree kind of horses. And I taught him to do the bow. So I kind of was, and I made it really, really reinforcing. And the criteria for the bow was don't move your feet. And so I was bringing the target to the outside. So he's kind of bowing and moving that one leg. And then I moved it further back until that target was behind his back foot. And the only way he could touch his target without moving his feet, he would fall over. And so when he first let loose, it was, you know, kind of losing balance and letting it go. I clicked and reinforced and did it a couple more times. And then finally, he just toppled over. And so, you know, and I just, you know, I reinforced him a ton every single time. So it was a very high rate of reinforcement for this behavior. And then finally, you know, he'd got it worked out. It was after about the 6th time he did it, and he just toppled over, and you hear him go, huh! You know, the air going out of him, like he's a big, you know, jolly green giant. And he, after about the 6th time, he just came right up to me. He looked in my eyes for a long time. And then he went away and laid down like a normal horse. So I took that. You know, I said, that's fine. The criteria was getting you to the ground. So that's not the easiest way to do it, but that's just what I came up with. In the meantime, I have trained horses by just capturing laying down. So turning them out, you know, if there's a time when you know they're going to, you know, they've been inside or they've just been ridden or something, and you turn them out in a sand arena, a lot of times they want to roll or even in the grass. And so I would take advantage of those times and just capture it, click, and then reinforce them as soon as they would go down at first. So as soon as you see them starting to buckle their knees, I'd click. A lot of times they pop back up and come over, and I'd reinforce that a bit. And then I would reinforce the laying down, and pretty soon then you can put it, as they get consistent with it, and you start putting in a signal and say, you know, lay down or whatever you want to do. But right before you've set up the time where they consistently are laying down at that point. So that's another way to do it. And another way even yet is that people I just talked about this today. Somebody saying that they taught their horse to walk in a circle with their head down, walk in a circle with their head down, walk in a circle with their head down. And they did it actually under saddle as well. And the horse kind of went into old habits of when I walk in a circle with my head down, I start pawing and I lay down. So I think that, so there's kind of different tactics you can use, and it really depends on your horse and your horse's personality. I know, like, Mint is way too careful. He would never topple over. So I had to work on capturing that with him. So those are different things you can do. And also what I try to do is whenever I do see him laying down, if it's in a stall or in a paddock, it's easier in a stall because they feel a little bit more secure, I find. In the paddock, they have tendency, if you start coming to them, they jump up. But if you see them laying down, and if you can kind of sneak in, and what I do is I actually stay low, and I kind of crawl in next to them, and then I reinforce them while they're laying down. And this also builds up their confidence and their security with the laying down, as well as the reinforcement history. Anyway, so that's a fun one, and I really want you to keep me posted on this, okay? Because I'd love to hear how you do it and how it works for your guy. And And maybe even you can send me pictures. Anyway, all right. Well, I hope that helps you out and answers your questions and gives you some ideas. And that's not the limit of it. That's just what I've been exposed to. You know, whatever works for your horse, you can do. So, you know, it can take a little creativity, but those are the things that I've heard of. Anyway, I hope that helps you out. If you or anybody else has questions, please don't hesitate to go to askshawna.com or shawnakarrasch.com. Anyway, until next time, enjoy getting your horse on target. Bye.